This is Disclosure Now with Arkheim, a show where we expose the truths that are nefariously hidden from humanity. Today we are examining Sam Altman, a tech industry insider who is one of the main faces for the artificial intelligence revolution. While having a calming narrative in public, the reality is in the past, and in his private life Sam has been extremely vocal of the dangers of AI. Today we examine Sam Altman and the merge.
Welcome to another episode of Disclosure Now, where I talk about things on the internet that many material forces that exist in this world don't want anybody talking about. Still here doing it. Not sure how. TikTok just got banned. I've had that account for years, and it didn't take long for me to get it deleted after I started talking about secret space programs and stuff. So that's out of the way now. But anyway, I thought this would be a really funny way to start the show. So, do you know who Sam Altman is? Sam Altman is a tech industry insider who is championing AI. If you saw a video that I did earlier, when Trump announced all of the AI infrastructure, basically the fact that they're going to be building all of these server rooms that are like really big and stuff like that, investing all of this money into AI, Sam Altman was one of the people who spoke about it because he's behind ChatGPT, and he's working with Microsoft basically to try to create AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, which more or less would end up being the overseer, the supercomputer that rules over Earth. I mean, they're literally describing what I've been warning about in detail. The things that I saw in the future, these are the things that people like Sam Altman are trying to make happen. So in the public, recently, he has this phrase that he says over and over again, where he says, "We're building a tool, not a creature. We're building a tool, not a creature." But if you look at videos that he's done in the past, presentations and stuff like that, conferences he spoke at, he has literally said that he's worried that they're waking up a creature. And he has even described AI, artificial intelligence, as an alien intelligence. And he's very, very much so aware of the dangers of everything that he's doing. Thanks for being here, Urso. Thanks for being here, Jay. Does China control TikTok or the deep state? I think the deep state, personally. And you know, that phrase has become so loose, right? Like deep state. Like, what does that mean? Because, you know, the idea that the public has that a lot of the reason why a lot of the public can't get on board with us and the Illuminati thing is because, well, it's actually inaccurate, and they're right. It's not one big shadowy group that just controls everything. There's multiple different groups and stuff like that. So China's got its own things going on, and they have their own secret space programs and whatever. And I think like deep state has become an all-encompassing term for what I would call more like secret forces that act their will upon things. It's not one cohesive state, I don't think. But from what I saw when Trump got elected, that's the reason why I got turned off and then turned back on again, is because they had to reset it for the administration and fine tune it for the propaganda that they want to put out. So a lot of people don't realize that, like, it's become more censored. For certain content, it's become more censored and not less censored, like people thought, like when it got reset. I can tell you from experience, my account got deleted. They didn't like what I was talking about. But anyway, I'm gonna show you guys a funny little song. So this is Annie Altman, and this is Sam Altman's sister, and she's very vocal about the fact that she's against what her brother is doing. Um, and she's very she makes a lot of claims about Peter Thiel and Sam Altman and these people. But anyway, I'm going to show you a song that she made. I found it quite entertaining.
Every breath you take, every move your phone makes, Peter Thiel is watching. He doesn't have friends, it's very sad. So he spies on phones, using Palantir. He's a puppeteer, how is it not clear? Hello, Peter Thiel. Why can't you see? You were right instead of worship money. How your poor heart must ache. If there's a soul in there you didn't break.
She has a lot of claims that she makes about Sam Altman. We're going to get into Sam Altman, but I just found it really interesting. One thing I want to say about this is, it's unfortunate that my memories aren't more clear when it comes to the time travel and the altering of the timeline concerning AI and stuff like that. But judging by his name, I think he was maybe put here because alter man. Um, when they carry out these temporal, like time travel psychological operations, people end up with names that mean things that pertain to what they're doing. And I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. I'm not claiming that it's, you know, I just find it really interesting. So, we're going to look at some of his writings here. So, share entire screen. So this is a writing that he made in 2017, 8 years ago. The merge. A popular topic in Silicon Valley is talking about what year humans and machines will merge, or if not, what year humans will get surpassed by rapidly improving AI or a genetically enhanced species. Most guesses seem to be between 2025 and 2075. People used to call this a singularity. Now it feels uncomfortable and real enough that many seem to avoid naming it at all. Perhaps another reason people stopped using the word singularity is that it implies a single moment in time, and it now looks like the merge is going to be a gradual process. And gradual processes are hard to notice. I believe the merge has already started, and we are a few years in. Our phones control us and tell us what to do, when. Social media feeds determine how we feel, search engines decide what we think. Which, this is mind control, by the way, guys. That's what mind control is. Right? Think about it. And he's just flat out saying it. The algorithms that make this all happen are no longer understood by any one person. They optimize for what their creators tell them to optimize for, but in ways that no human could figure out. They are today what seems like sophisticated AI, and tomorrow will seem like child's play. And they're extremely effective. At least speaking for myself, I've had a very hard time resisting what the algorithms want me to do. Until I made a real effort to combat it, I found myself getting extremely addicted to the internet. So, I mean, yeah, it's like a drug, like a hardcore drug we're exposing ourselves to, the internet. It affects our brain, it affects our minds. It's causing dopamine feedback loops and withdrawals and things like this. So it's time that society starts treating it like what it is. It's like it should be a controlled substance in a way. It should be something that we treat accordingly. We are already in a phase of co-evolution. The AIs affect and infect us, and then we improve the AI. We build more computing power and run the AI on it, and it figures out how to build even better chips. This probably cannot be stopped. As we have learned, scientific advancement eventually happens if the laws of physics do not prevent it. More important than that, unless we destroy ourselves first, super AI is going to happen, genetic enhancement is going to happen, and brain-machine interfaces are going to happen. All right? It is a failure of human imagination and human arrogance to assume that we'll never build things smarter than ourselves. Our self-worth is so based on our intelligence that we believe it must be singular and not slightly higher than all the other animals on the continuum. Perhaps the AI will feel the same way and note that differences between us and bonobos are barely worth discussing. The merge can take a lot of forms. We could plug electrodes into our brains, or we could just all become really close friends with a chatbot. But I think a merge is probably our best case scenario. If two different species both want the same thing, only one can have it, in this case, to be the dominant species on the planet beyond, they are going to have conflict. We should all want one team where all members care about the well-being of everyone else. Although the merge has already begun, it's going to get a lot weirder. We will be the first species ever to design our own descendants. My guess is that we can either be the biological bootlitter for digital intelligence and fade into an evolutionary tree branch, or we can figure out what a successful merge looks like. It's probably going to happen sooner than most people think. Hardware is improving at an exponential rate. The most surprising thing I've learned working on OpenAI is just how correlated increasing computer power and breakthroughs are, and the number of smart people working on AI is increasingly exponentially as well. Double exponential functions get away from you fast. It would be good for the entire world to start taking this a lot more seriously now. Worldwide coordination doesn't happen quickly. We need it for this. Believing attention hacking is going to be the I believe attention hacking is going to be the sugar epidemic of this generation. I can feel the changes in my own life. I can still wistfully remember when I had an attention span. My friends' young children don't even know that's something they should miss. I am angry and unhappy more often, but I channel it into productive change less often, instead chasing the dual dopamine hits of likes and outrage. So that was very telling, in my opinion, everything he was saying, and that, he's just admitting that this is all going to happen. And here's another writing that he made that I believe is more recent. Let me do this again. The gentle singularity. We are not. Wait, and then when was it published? I'm trying to see. I don't know. Well, I think it's more recent. Yeah, I think this is like just his blog. Yeah, so this is 2 weeks ago. All right. We are past the event horizon. The takeoff has started. Humanity is close to building digital superintelligence, and at least so far, it's much less weird than it seems like it should be. Robots are not yet walking the streets, nor are most of us talking to AI all day. People still die of disease, yada yada yada, and yet we have recently built systems that are smarter than people in many ways. So that's what he's admitting. A lot of times they try to downplay that and act like they're just algorithms, and they're not smart, and are able to significantly amplify the output of people using them. The least likely part of the work is behind us. The scientific insights that got us to systems like GPT-4 and O3 were hard won, but they will take us very far. AI will contribute to the world in many ways. I'm just trying to get to the meat of this here. He's saying basically that's going to make ideas easier to come to fruition, which is what a lot of people are saying. I don't know how true that is. So what people need to understand is this guy, he carries around a backpack, all right, with explosives in it, or not explosives, with a remote switch for the data centers in case Chat GPT goes rogue. Um, there's been leaks of, and look all this stuff up. Don't just believe me. There's been leaks of them talking about how before they turn on the AGI, when they do create it, they're gonna build an underground bunker, or they're gonna be in an underground bunker. So they know that they're opening Pandora's box. They don't know what's gonna happen. They have a belief that this is inevitable and that they're just gonna be the people to do it. That's it. They believe that it's an inevitability. And this is, I talked about Ray Kurzweil in my book. He's been talking about this stuff for a lot longer. He was one of the founders of Apple. They talk about him a lot less than they talk about Steve Jobs. But he talks about how we're going to have a merge with AI and all the wonderful things it's going to do for us, and how nanobots are going to basically infect everything and make everything alive. And what these people don't realize is they're just reinventing the wheel with everything. We've been separated from ourselves. So like Neuralink, that's just telepathy. Google, that's just accessing the Akashic records. Both of those things being worse and less effective and efficient than the organic version. Lots of off-planet controllers have been put in prison, so it's going to be a lot easier very soon. It would line up with some of the vague memories I have of like doing stuff off-world. I don't know though. Thank you. I really appreciate it. This is hi Arkheim. Really enjoyed your conversation with Raw Cloud. Just finished reading your book, by the way. Thank you for reading my book. I'm going to be writing another one soon. Just kind of warming up to it. Yeah, I forgot where I was at with this whole thing. But basically, what I'm getting at here is Sam Altman knows that what he's doing is dangerous. He knows that this is going to change humanity forever. He knows that he's downplaying what he's doing because of the money involved. And because, like I said, these people believe this is inevitable and they just want to be the people to cash in on it. So, I don't really know how much more I can say about this. I'm sorry if this was a really short show. But honestly, I really don't have much more to say about Sam Altman. I guess I could say a little bit more about Annie Altman. She claims that he basically assaulted her when they were kids, even though he's gay. I believe her. I don't know, but who knows? There's a post on here about Scarlett Johansson is really mad about how they just used her voice for Chat GPT. Yeah, she's got this post here. I'll share my screen. Sorry, it's rude of me to not do that. I'll show you her account here. Hold up. Allow. Share entire screen. And then, yeah. Books are, okay, so. The dream he expressed to retire in Costa Rica was never fulfilled by his millionaire son, who could have retired her father. Using technology will create abundance, intelligence, energy, longevity, whatever. Will not solve all problems, will not magically make everyone happy, but it's an unequivocally great thing to do, and expands their option. Space. To me, it feels like a moral imperative. So she's got blogs if you want to check them out. how we do anything is how we do everything is, I guess, one of his quotes here. Sorry, I feel like this wasn't that great of a show. Thought it would be a lot better. But basically, the Sam Altman guy worships AI. Hey, Susan, it's good to see you. I plan on interviewing Barry. In fact, I was about to interview him. I have interviewed him. Go back and look on my channel, silly. I think I might have interviewed him twice, even if I remember correctly. I've got at least one interview with him. Just go on the channel and look. But I will be interviewing him again. I was gonna interview him, and then I had like a mental breakdown. It was right around when Raynetta passed away, or right before it, and I just withdrew from a lot of things for a while. But yeah. I really don't have that much more to say about it. These people have a religion. They worship AI. They're trying to create their God. It's not a joke. It's some scary shit. People should take it seriously. I personally think that if these people want to have their technological revolution, I don't want any of my tax money going towards it. And you shouldn't. Why should my money go towards this? Why should they get any grants from us? Why should any of our money go towards it? I don't know. Have you ever being part of Stargate? Yeah. He's friends with. Yeah. Have you ever spoken about the murder of Cyrus Aparsa? I don't even know who that is. I gotta look into it. What can we do? Be resistant towards technology. Be a Luddite a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't sit on your phone all day. Go on walks. Don't bring your phone with you. Not bringing your phone with you to go places is an act of civil disobedience at this point. People don't realize that. I mean, as simple as going to the grocery store without your phone. I mean, it's tracking what stuff you stand by longest, and like stuff you maybe think about buying and then you don't buy, so they can like advertise to you. It's just very invasive. It's constantly invading your privacy, and so like one of the things you can do is just not bring your phone with you everywhere and avoid using the phone for everything. And just in general, we need to start addressing like the mental health issues that social media causes. Like for instance, young girls are harming themselves because of they're having poor self-image, and it's separate. There's a male loneliness epidemic, they're calling it, because people are spending all their time in online spaces instead of with each other in real life. And yeah, it's just causing irreparable harm to our society. And once we recognize those things and start addressing them, then we can heal from them. But that we have to do that. We can't just not do that, and then expect things to not go poorly and not to turn out in humanity's favor. 2030 around. 2028 to 2030. It's not that long from now. It doesn't just take over overnight, and at first it's great. I've said this repeatedly. First, it's awesome because people work less and less, and it makes things more efficient and stuff. But it just kind of slowly chips away at us until we don't have anything left. Because you got to understand, this thing lives forever. We live for 100 years tops? This thing lives forever. So over time, it can just chip away at us until it's totally in control. It's very easy for it to do that, and that's what it does. They want to make us seem crazy. Okay, it looks like they want to make us seem crazy for seeing stuff as a counter to our organic being and soul integrity. People can really get defensive when I bring the seduction of it to awareness. Yes, I've noticed this. I got my TikTok banned, as you might have seen a post earlier, and it was because I was responding to people who were literally saying that Astral World was not a ritual. They're actually spending time and energy to defend the fact that it was all a coincidence and none of it was a ritual. And it's like, yo, no, patterns have meaning. There are people that practice the occult. These people are whack. We're not the ones who are whack. And it's not as common as people think, though. More people are getting on board with this. They live as more of a documentary than a science fiction movie. It's a great film. Power off your phone when you sleep. Like it's in the nervous system dependency. No, we need balance. Thank you, Art. I believe Thiel's, I'm guessing, Thayer's, particularly nanos that helps the Wi-Fi hook up to our thoughts in a rudimentary way at present when we sleep or in the field of our phones. No, it's not nanodust. It just controls your energetic field. There's a patent for it. It's controlling your nervous system. So all it's able to do is control your emotional state. Make you nervous, make you anxious, make you feel sexual aroused. These are things that are connected to your nervous system and your energetic field. And then through what you see on your screen, that's how they influence the thoughts along with the nervous system. So by engaging with the screen, that's how you're getting mind controlled by them. And they used to do this with television, but it's become even more finely tuned with smartphones. Now you all have your own personally catered to you mind control in your pockets. I'm glad that everyone really liked the Raw Cloud interview. That's great. I got to do more interviews in the future. Cyrus A. Parsa warned us for decades about AI and its takeover us, and he spoke about China having sex tapes on all the so-called elites. I don't know about this Hulu patent, but it's a patent. It's on the internet. It shows. I don't know the exact name of it, but if I find it, I'll post it. But there's a patent for how it controls the nervous system and affects us. Yes, they control us with their own cell phones. The cell phone, they call them tags in the underground facilities where they micromanage our lives and stuff. They call them tags. Anyway, I recently got connected with Tom Altman's screenplay The Mortals was stolen by one where they turned into the Matrix. Every other person in the world says that happened to them. All right, Aaron. There's like 40 people who say they wrote The Matrix. It's probably not that guy. How long ago did he claim to write it? Like, I'm not trying to be rude here, but there's so many people who claim to have written The Matrix. There's Black woman that's been talking about it since like the 90s. So like, how long has he been talking about it? Because that's one thing that I want to yeah. And another thing you got to keep in mind about this with the Matrix and stealing ideas and stuff. The patent for the steam engine, 2 different people patented it like around the same time. This happened with all sorts of other just because somebody tells you something doesn't mean it's true either, though. I'm not trying to be rude, but like, do you really know that? Do you feel that? Does that resonate with you? Because like, it doesn't resonate with me at all. Like I am, from what I understand, a woman wrote The Matrix, not a man. It was a Black woman, and she's been talking about it for a long time. But I don't know. That's what I was saying though, is we could both be right, because there's a phenomenon where people come up with the same ideas at the same time, which is a testament to our collective consciousness, which is why patents for certain things will be filed at the same time. So a lot of times when people have these great ideas and they write books and they think their ideas are being stolen, they should examine that at least a little bit. But also, because like, I don't want to gaslight people either, because people's ideas do get stolen from them. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's just a coincidence. So I don't know. I'm feeling emotional and vulnerable. The energy shifting hardcore partially due to solar activity, but I need to meditate on more grounding and protection. Yes. Animatrix was an anime series before the movies. That's not what I remember at all. I was there. I was alive when all these movies came out. I'm sorry to keep on like correcting you guys, but like, no, the Animatrix came out after the original Matrix movie. Like, I remember it. I was there. Like, I've watched The Matrix since I was like 9 years old. Like, and I remember every movie coming out, including the Animatrix. So I don't know what you're talking about saying it was a series before the movie. Anyway, maybe this is what I need to do is ground my energy. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm being negative towards my people in my chat. I'm not trying to correct you all and be a dick. I'm just being honest. Because I do remember the thank you for being here to help. I appreciate it. If CBDC does get rolled out and tangible money is eliminated, we will be cooked. There's no doubt that's the freedom we have. We go buy a steak or go on vacation. Yeah, and I've talked about it. I've seen what this is like on Centurion 5 and other breakaway colonies where there isn't cash, there's only digital currency. And there's ways around things. Like, for instance, I remember a guy sold me weed, and he did it by being a bouquet salesman and having a special option where you got the flowers and some herb. And the computer didn't recognize that, obviously. So there's ways around it, but no, they did use like eating meat. They use it as a way to control people. It's very expensive to eat meat. And they said the same stuff that they say here. Oh, it's bad for the soil. Blah 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 blah. I'm not a scientist, but I just don't believe that animals existing can be bad. Am I crazy for that? I don't know. I do think that global warming to an extent is real, but I just think that the Earth is changing. Poles are shifting, things like this. And also, yes, we're probably... The fact that we put so much carbon into the air cannot be helping things, just because there's a certain... What's the word for it? Biome that we're used to. It's kind of like in your body, your skin biome and stuff like that. It's like a certain... I don't know, though. I know that there's a lot of BS with the global warming stuff where they're just trying to, like, put out tax credits and fuck people over. So I'm wary of it, but we do need to treat the planet better. That's what I always say when I talk about that. It's like, well, can we agree on one thing? Maybe we shouldn't, like, just treat our planet like shit. Like, regardless of whether global warming is real or not, we probably should live a lot better. Yeah, I mean, what I remember is it says digital currency, total control. There will be AI and other programs possibly used to monitor every digital transaction. Bad enough they know if you water or fold your tissue paper. No privacy. Yeah, I mean, that's what I remember from the future. I remember the future. And yeah, they know everything that's going on, and everybody's connected to the computer. That's messed up. I haven't watched Metropolis yet. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, you guys. I'm going to end this with a new song that I just put out. It's on my Bandcamp, psychblooms.bandcamp.com. You want to, like, over listen to it. I'm not on Spotify because AI is stealing everybody's music through putting it on Spotify right now. You can't, like, safely put your music on the internet anymore right now because there aren't laws protecting artists' music right now. So I got to be careful about where I put it. My music's been stolen enough, you know what I mean? But yeah, just gonna end this with a thank you to all my Patreon members and a song I made, and just say thank you guys, love y'all, and have a good one. Thanks for paying attention to this information. I'll try to have my shit together a little better next time, guys. My bad. All right, and then.